Hi guys. Whew. Hello, sorry, I'm just pottering around there. What was I writing? I was writing up the routine that I've just taught because I like to keep a check of everything that I've done so that I don't give you the same thing 2 days in a row. Does that make sense? I've just quickly done my hair as well, it's a right mess, but there we go. Last class of the day, so it's all good. So Mia is my sister, for those of you watching. So just to let you know, you're going to have a birthday delivery tomorrow. Hello, hello. So birthday delivery for Mia tomorrow, ready for her birthday on Friday. Ooh, hi Yvonne, hi. So we will get working with some Pilates. We'll get a little bit moving, all right? It's a warm up, but it's more of a mobiliser, just to get the body ready for what you're going to be doing, okay? The mobilisation part takes place standing up. Sorry, you can tell I've just been jumping around because I'm all, so yeah. Pilates, nice and calm, nice and calm. So it's then around your core and about your posture, and I'll run through all of that as well just before we start the mobilisation, just so that your body knows what parts it's going to be using, whereabouts it's going to be working, and what it's expected to do as well. Different exercises can also target different groups. So although it is centered around the core and about your posture, there's also exercises that you do that will work down the side of the leg, that will work into the waist, that will work into the bottom. So although people kind of think that Pilates is sometimes easy, it's not really. Not if you do it properly. You will work nice and hard. Mia doesn't exercise. She's excited about her present. I bought her a nice present as well. Wait and see. We'll come back on Friday and I'll tell you everyone what we've brought her. Okay? So let's start working then. Okay. Nice and upright facing forwards. Toes and knees point forwards. Shoulders down and relaxed. Make sure that you are balanced and central. So gently rocking forwards, backwards, side to side. Making sure that you've got an even distribution of body weight across both of your feet. Not feeling lopsided, you don't feel like you're leaning, okay? We then need to find that neutral spine I was talking about. Now your neutral spine is finding that natural lordotic curve. And one way of thinking about it is having a bucket of water in the middle, or a bowl of water, and I just want you to tilt your hips forwards and backwards. And if this was a bowl of water, the water would come over the front, over the back, and we're gradually making that movement smaller and smaller. And we're finding the position where the back feels the most comfortable, that natural lordotic curve. And once we find that, we need to maintain it, okay? We then need to find and engage our core muscles. So we begin with the pelvic floor, the muscle from within, the one you'd use to stop mid-flow. Okay, so imagine that muscle is attached to a lift. You're going to put it all the way up from within, all the way up to floor number 10. So it's like you've got a straw and you're drawing up water. You're going to lower it down to floor number 5, down to floor number 3, and hold it there. So you know you're pulling up, but it's easy to maintain because it's not too much. Then imagine you've got a belt around your middle with 10 notches on the belt. And we're going to draw that belt into notch number 10 as tight as it'll go. You're going to take it out to notch number 5, out to notch number 3, and that's where you're going to leave it. So you know that you're holding around the centre of the body. There's some tightening, like a tightened corset feeling around the middle of the body. So they are your core muscles, and we're going to try and maintain them for the duration as well. So because we're holding from our posture, from our spine, from our core, we then need to breathe from our rib cage, okay? So this is called lateral thoracic breathing. You're going to place your hands on your ribs. I don't want you to move your hands. I want you to take a deep breath from your rib cage and then release. So with that deep breath, you're opening up from the ribs and release. Relax the arms down. So just begin to pedal through your feet one side to the other, raising up an alternating heel. Also begin to gently roll your shoulders back in one direction and the other direction. And then place those feet down flat, lift all the way up onto the toes and release. Again, lift up onto the toes and release. One more time. Lift, lengthen all the way up and release. Good. So from here, I'm just going to move further back so you can see my feet. You're going to step out, reach up and over, come back into the center, and then step the other way. Obviously, be careful that your foot doesn't slip. You feel nice and grounded. Reach up and over. Good. I don't think I'm going to have a carpet left by the time we go back to work. I'm going to have thread there. I keep jumping on it. Good. Coming into the center, hold it there. Although, when we change the carpet here, I've got really nice floorboards, so I could just polish them up. Bring the arms up, take a breath in. Breathe out, rotate. Breathe in, return. Breathe out, rotate the other way. Breathe in and return. So we're keeping the hips nice and still. Breathe out, rotate. Breathe in, return. Good. Breathe out, rotate. Breathe in, return. So I'm going to ask you please for one more to each side. So this is just your spinal rotation. And then bring those arms in and place those feet down. Those arms down. Take your right foot forwards or your left foot. Circle the leg round. Lift the knee up. Just balance. Take the foot forward. Circle around. Lift the knee up. Balance. Now hold it here. And just allow the ankle to rotate one direction and the other direction. Then place the foot down. And then the other leg comes forward. Now the thing is with posture, that can help with your balance. So if we can really focus on having those core muscles in place, having that neutral spine in place, then that will encourage our balance, improve our balance. Hold it up, ankle one way. Oh, it's a nice big crack on my ankle there. And the other way, and place the foot down. And that's my good ankle. So you're going to stand towards the back of your mat or whatever it is you've chosen to lay on. Breathe in, tuck the chin to your chest. Breathe out, gently roll down through your back. Soften your knees. Allow the arms to hang and relax. And then when you're ready, gently begin to roll back up. Rebuild the spine. Relax those shoulders down. Breathe in, chin to the chest. Breathe out, gently roll down through your back. Allow your arms to hang and relax. And then gently breathe out, begin to gently roll up through the back. Rebuild your spine, vertebrae by vertebrae. So this time we're going to roll down and we're going to be making our way down to the floor where we'll stay for the rest of the session. So breathe in, chin to the chest. Breathe out, begin to roll down through your back. Soften your knees. And then at your lowest point, place your hands down. Carefully come down onto your hands and knees. Knees should be hips distance apart, okay? So you've got the gap between your thighs. You're allowed a thigh gap, see? This is the nice thing with Pilates. Wrists, elbows, shoulders, all in line with each other. You're going to breathe in. As you breathe out, just push one leg as far back along the floor as you can without dropping the hip or tilting the hip. Then breathe in and draw that leg back in. Other leg, breathe out, push it away. Now you should feel a lengthening through the core. And then breathe in and just drag the leg back in. Everything else stays still. It's just this one leg at a time, pushing away and pulling back in. And try and keep your head in place nice and still. So what we're going to do this time is we're going to breathe out to extend. And then if you can, you're going to raise that leg. Then breathe in, touch the toes down and draw that leg back in. Breathe out, push the leg away and lift the leg up. Breathe in, lower it down and draw that leg back in. So you've come into this exercise called swimming. You keep the rest of the body in place. Only lift as high as the bottom and then gently lower and draw it back in. So what we're going to do now is we're going to work one side only. So I'm going to ask you to breathe in. As you breathe out, just want you to take that leg as far back as you can and then raise it up. Now stay here for me. This leg, you're going to breathe in And without moving any other part of the body, breathe out and allow it to come out to the side. And then breathe in and bring it back in. So that leg is moving away from the body and then comes back in. The leg remains lifted, comes out to the side and back in. Now if you want to go a little bit further, you could lengthen the opposite arm out along the floor. You could raise that arm. You could move that arm. Arm goes out, leg goes out, breathe out to take it out. Breathe in to bring it in. Carrying on for me, remember the pace of your movement is dictated by the pace of your breathing. So as you breathe out and move away, it's a slow movement. And then as you breathe in to bring it back in, it's a nice full deep breath in, so it's slow and controlled. We're going to do one more with this leg, with or without the arm. Then everything comes back to the middle. We gently lower to the furthest points, and then we draw them back in. And then we take the other leg all the way back. Push it away, toe points away from you. Lift that leg. Breathe out, take it out. Breathe in to bring it back in. Breathe out to take it out. Breathe in to keep it in. Now all the time you should be looking down at the floor so that your head and neck are staying in line with the rest of the spine. We're not allowing the neck to move around. Everything stays in alignment. Next level is to have that opposite arm lengthened out along the floor. Next level is to have that arm raised. And your final level, allowing the arm and leg to move. Breathing out as they move away. Breathing in as they come back in. Continuing that, using those deep, full breaths from the rib cage. You're going to be working around the side of that leg, around the hip and the bottom area. You're working through the core and through the lumbar spine. And I'm going to ask you, please, if you're moving your arm as well, you've got mobility around your shoulders, okay? I'm going to ask you, please, for one more here, then everything comes back to the middle, lowers, and draws back into where you started. From here, you're going to be lowering down into a leg pull. So we're bringing the arms in, forearms and elbows down, elbow underneath the shoulder, okay? And then all you need to do is draw up your pelvis, keeping the knees down at level 1, bringing them up at level 2, and hold. Now you're pulling up through your belly button. If you begin to shake or wobble, just take a rest and then come back in again when you're ready. Just going to move a little bit closer for you. Drawing up through the belly button, level 1 knees down, level 2 knees up. Breathe and hold. Strengthen through the core and the lumbar spine, tightening right into the middle of your body. In your leg pull, please complete up to 3 more breaths. So up to 3 more. If you only can manage 2, just do 2. Once you've completed those, you're going to lower all the way down onto your front, and we're going to come into a mobility and strengthening exercise for the lower back called swan dive. Now you're going to bring your arms out so they're in a capital E position, okay? So the elbow in line with your shoulder, your fingers, your hands will be pointing forwards. And you're going to touch your big toes together and drop your heels out. I don't want you to lift your legs and try not to squeeze your bottom, okay? Now, forehead starts down. Breathe in. As you breathe out, peel the chest off the floor and then breathe in to gently lower. Breathe out to peel up. Keep looking down at the floor. And then breathe in to carefully lower. Remember, slow and controlled to match your breathing. I don't want you dropping down to the floor and hurting your face, okay? So you're breathing out to peel the chest up, in to gently lower. Now, if your back is strong and you want to go further, we're going to move into extended swan dive. So you breathe out, come up as normal. Then breathe in. As you breathe out, you can peel up further. Forearms and elbows come up. You're still looking down. Don't adjust the position of your neck. And then breathe in, gently lower, and the forearms and elbows come back down. So level 1, you come up, and then level 2, breathe in, breathe out, and come higher. Extended swan dive. And we're breathing in to gently lower ourselves back down. Remember, engage your core muscles. So all the time, I want you to imagine there's an ice cube underneath your belly button and you're drawing up the belly button so that you're strengthening across the core. We're strengthening through the lower back. Mobility of that back. If you're coming up higher, you might feel some strengthening through the top of the back as well. In your swan dive, I would like you please to complete 2 more repetitions. Breathing out as you come up and in as you lower. Once you've completed those 2, you can gently just push back, sit into your heels, into what's called a child's pose. And then when you're ready, you're going to come onto one side. Remember which side you're doing, because you will then work the other side as well. And you're going to lay all the way down on that side. And we want a straight line from your fingers all the way down to your toes and your head resting down on the arm. Now I am laying at an angle slightly just so that I've got space to get my arm out of the way, okay? So I am straight, it's my mat that's angled. So my head is resting down, hand is there for your balance. Breathe in. As you breathe out, raise both legs up without rolling the hips forwards or back. Now as soon as you lifted your legs, your obliques, your waist began to work, okay? Legs are lengthened, toes are pulled away, so we're working down that top leg as well. Breathe in. As you breathe out, lift the top leg up. As you breathe in, lower it down. Breathe out, lift the top leg up. As you breathe in, lower it down. Now if you're able to lift and lower without rolling your hips, you can take the supporting hand away and place it on your thigh. Bottom leg is lifted and still. Any issues, then you can always keep that bottom leg on the floor if you need to. If your balance is still really good, you can take that arm over, breathe out as you raise, and in as you lower, and then your final option, arm comes up, just point to the ceiling, and then bring it back down. And you're working directly into the side of the body through your waist. Breathing out as you lift and in as you gently release. Working through the side of the body, round the top leg, round the hip and the bottom. Still working through the core and the lumbar spine because we've still got this nice long posture going on. Breathing out as the leg moves away. Breathing in as the leg moves back in. And I'm going to ask you please, with this side leg raise, for 1 more repetition. Once you've completed that, legs together. Carefully allow them to lower. You can bring your knees in and give the hip a rub if you need to. And then when you're ready, I just want you to continue to bring yourself to a seated position. From here, we're going to come into an exercise called the saw. You're going to bring your legs to a straddle position, and you're going to bring your arms out to the sides. So when we move, one arm is coming up and over, and then the other arm is naturally coming behind us. I want you to imagine that you've got a ball, one of those balls that you use in the gym, in front of you here, okay? So when we move, we have to lift up and over. We're not just reaching across the body. So both sides of the bottom on the floor, take a breath in. As you breathe out, reach up and over towards the foot, and then breathe in and come back to the middle. Breathe out, go the other way. Breathe in, come back to the middle. Breathe out, up and over. Breathe in to come back to the middle. So we're reaching up and across. We're keeping both sides of the bottom on the floor. If you suffer with your lower back and you can't reach all the way, just go as far as comfortable for you, okay? Breathe out to reach up and over. Breathe in to come back to center. And in the saw, I'm going to ask you please for one more to each side. And once you've completed those, you can relax the arms and you can bring those legs in. Okay? From here, I'd like to carefully allow yourself to come down onto your back. Now, as you come down, legs bent, feet and knees, hips distance apart, head, shoulders down. Find your neutral spine, so tilt the pelvis, get the back comfortable. Imagine you've got a spirit level across your hips, bubble of air central and still. Core muscles drawn up and in, breathe in. As you breathe out, lift one leg up to a right angle. Don't let the heel drop down, don't let it raise too high. Right angle in the knee. And all we do is stay here and breathe. Full deep breaths from the rib cage. The core muscles are helping to keep that leg in place. If you want to go further, you can bring the other leg up as well. You may just need to find your neutral spine again. And then if you still want to go further, you can bring up the upper body, chin off the chest, breathe in. As you breathe out, push the hands down. Imagine you've got a small bouncy ball underneath the palm of your hand. And you're just pushing down, 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 down. 5 pushes. Breathe in, deep full breath. As you breathe out, push down. If you still want to go further, then legs are coming out to 45 degrees. Now you don't have to have both legs lifted. You can just have one leg lifted and pulse from there. And I'm just going to ask those of you who've got one leg raised to allow the upper body to lower that leg, and then when you're ready, bring the other leg up in its place. Right angle, ankle in line with the knee, shoulders down, relaxed. Absolutely fine to stay here, or have both legs raised, or to bring up the upper body. Breathe in, breathe out, push the hands down. Breathe in, deep full breath. Breathe out, push the hands down. One leg or both legs, or you've gone all the way with those legs extended to 45 degrees. Be careful here not to allow your tummy muscles to dome. You've got to keep them pulled down. Carry on for me please, if you find as you advance through the levels that you're forgetting your breathing, you're forgetting your neutral spine or your core muscles, then go back a level, okay? Because if your body's not ready, you're not going to get the same results, you're not going to work as effectively. So everything has to work at the same time, okay? And don't always take for granted, because you can do it with one leg, that you can do it with the other. Because naturally your body is stronger on one side than the other, and then it's up for us to kind of re-educate our body into balancing out perfectly, okay? It comes from carrying your children on one side, carrying your shopping bags all on one side. So take 2 more breaths. If you've got both legs raised, 1 foot at a time comes down, upper body comes down, and we end up with both feet on the floor. Breathe in. As you breathe out, bring the first leg back up. Bring the arms up, palms face inwards, your fingers are pulled to the ceiling. Now your leg is going to go away towards one wall and your arms are going to go over towards the other. Breathe in, breathe out, lengthen, pull away, and then breathe in to return. Breathe out, pull away, breathe in to return. Now as you're breathing out and lengthening, this other knee stays absolutely still and bring it back in. Keep going for me. If it's too much, you can take the arms away. If the leg or the knee hurts, keep the leg down and just do the arms, okay? So that's already giving you some options there. But if you want to work harder, you can have both legs raised, but we are only moving that same leg. Breathing out to lengthen and in to return. Whole breath out. Whole breath in. And I'm going to ask you with this leg for 2 more. 1 leg stretch, this is called. And once you've done your 2, you can allow that foot to come down. And then you're going to bring that other leg up in its place. Once that leg is up, arms are up, palms face in, breathe out to lengthen. Everything goes out. And then breathe in to bring everything back in. Point the fingers, point the toes, breathe out to lengthen, breathe in to return. Keeping that other knee nice and still, don't let it drop out. Now remember, we're not rushing our movements, we are allowing them to flow, using our breathing to dictate the pace of that movement. Breathing out to lengthen, in to return. Remember, you've got the option of having both legs raised, keeping that other leg still though. You've got the option of just the leg on its own. And you've also got the option of just the arms on their own. We're strengthening through the core, through the middle of the body. We're keeping our neutral spine in place. We're breathing out to lengthen and in to return. And I'm going to ask you please, for 2 more repetitions, smooth and controlled. And once you've done those 2, if you've got both legs raised, 1 at a time they come down, and then allow those arms to lower. And once you've got those feet and the arms down, please feel free to give yourself a nice long body stretch if you would like to. And then when you're ready, I'm asking you please to turn onto your other side, lengthening the body out into that nice long line, pointing the fingers, pointing the toes, slightly further down just so I get my arm out straight. Hand is there for your balance, hips, knees, ankles all stacked. Breathe in. As you breathe out, those legs raise. Don't allow those hips to roll. Hand is there for your balance. Breathe in. As you breathe out, top leg comes up. As you breathe in, gently release. Breathe out, top leg comes up. Bottom leg is nice and still. Breathe in to release. Any real issues here, you can keep the bottom leg down. And also, there's no set range of movement. It's only going as far as comfortable for you, okay? If you've got good balance, good technique, take the supporting hand away. Maybe we can take that arm all the way over. And if we're still exercise with control, we're not rolling, we're not rushing, then we can add the arm as well. But if your hips start rolling, then you need to go back down a level. Breathe out as you lift, breathe in as you release. Keeping everything zipped up, pulled in, working through your waist, working down that top leg, core muscles zipped up, pulled in. Breathe out as you raise and in as you lower. So you've got your side leg raise with or without the arm, because you can just have that hand there for your balance. And I'm going to be asking you, please, for 2 more repetitions. Then allow those legs to come together and gently lower them all the way down. You can bring those knees in, give that hip a little bit of a rub if you need to, and in your own time, I'd like you please to come back to where we started, into this box position. From here, I just want you to take what's called the cat stretch. So you're going to breathe in, round the spine, tuck the chin to the chest, and breathe out and release. Breathe in, round the spine, tuck the chin to the chest. Breathe out and release. Good. 1 more of those for me, please, in your cat stretch. Mobilize the back, ease through the spine, and release. And then again, sit back on your heels, lengthen out the arms, so you're coming into that child's pose. Stretch around the shoulders, stretch into the glutes, sit right back. And then from here, walk those hands back. You're going to curl your toes under. We're going to bring ourselves back to stand. We need to do it nice and gradually, okay? So I'm going to come into a crouched position before I stand. If you need to hold on to something, please feel free to do so, okay? Tuck the chin in, breathe in, place the feet down, and as you roll up, carefully rebuild your spine vertebrae by vertebrae. One on top of the other, all the way to the top. As you reach the top, head and neck come up last, relax the shoulders down. Good, this is the part where we all rearrange our t-shirts and play with our hair, always. Toes and knees point forwards, make sure you've got that nice long posture in place once again. Make sure those core muscles are still drawn up and in. Lift up onto your toes, are you balanced? And gently release. Good, lift up onto the toes and balance. And gently release. One more time, we're going to lift up and hold here. And then just test yourself by closing your eyes and seeing whether or not you can stay there. And gently release. Well done. So if that was your first time with Pilates today, well done. If you've been doing it before, hopefully there was enough there to keep you going. Any problems, any questions, any comments, drop them in the little comment box. I will reply to you, okay? It'll come up as Ipswich Fit, but it is actually me at the end of that tablet, at the end of that phone. If you are thinking about trying it and you haven't tried it before and you've got questions, ask me there as well. And also if you have got injuries, if you're returning to exercise or pregnant or anything like that, just let me know, and then I can always offer alternatives based around whatever's going on with you. So that's your Pilates for today. We are back tomorrow, 10 o'clock in the morning. We have got our HIIT session, but that's with a bit of combat thrown in tomorrow morning. And then we have got legs, bumps and tums at 4 o'clock. Okay, so that will start working us all the way up ready for the weekend then. So well done for today. If you want to do a little bit more, go through the feed. There'll be some old Pilates ones that we've already done on there. But also, if you want to go to our YouTube channel, we've got Pilates and other exercise classes on there as well. Well done, take care, have a lovely evening.